Hi guys, I just woke up and I'm going to be stepping out of the house for a little bit to run some errands, and I thought I would just film a super casual get ready with me video. One of the main reasons I wanted to make this video is because I really wanted to talk about this brush that I've been loving. I honestly was not expecting much at all from this foundation brush, but every time I use it, I'm like quite impressed. The brush that I'm talking about is the Shiseido foundation brush. I am not being paid at all to say this, but you know me, like I really like to share like pleasant surprises or things I've been loving with you guys, so I really wanted to talk about this brush. In case you guys are curious, they do sell this brush on Sephora.com, and I believe that this brush can only be ordered online and not purchased directly at the stores. The brush head is very small. It's small like circumference wise, and it's very dense. So just for size comparison, this is the Sigma F80 flat top kabuki. This one is smaller and densely packed. And honestly, my first impression was like, what is this brush gonna do? It's so tiny, and maybe it'll take, you know, longer to work my foundation in. And yes, it does require a little bit more time than like applying foundation with the Beauty Blender or even the flat top kabuki. But what I really like about this brush is it offers you 3 different levels of coverage depending on what you're going for. So for example, if you wanted a sheer coverage, you can kind of take some foundation and then just kind of stroke it against your face and into your skin. Now if you're going for a medium coverage, you can take the foundation and kind of swirl it into your skin. And then what I like is, especially on my hyperpigmentation marks, is to take some foundation, pat it onto my face, and then to just tap it in. When you tap it in, it gives you full coverage, and that is how I like to put on my foundation. So today I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. And this is just one of my everyday foundations. I either go between this or I use my Kogendo Aqua foundation. I think I've definitely talked about this before. Or I use my Tarte BB cream, or I use my Bobbi Brown Skin Foundation Mineral Makeup. That pretty much sums up my favorite foundations. And I do have a MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. I wanted this for the summer because I heard it's like super waterproof and sweatproof, but honestly it's a little bit drying for me now that it's not as humid anymore. So I have not been using that on a daily basis, but still it's a great foundation. Okay, so I'm gonna start out by taking this foundation. I usually just start out with like a little bit bigger than a pea size amount, and then obviously squeeze out more if I need to. Okay, and then just tapping it in. And the bristles are so soft that I've definitely used this when I've had active breakouts, and it didn't irritate my skin at all. And my skin's very sensitive to that. I kind of like to work in areas, so I don't like to put foundation all over my face. I just kind of like to either work my way down, or I like to start with the left side of my face and then my right side of my face. Just depends. My forehead doesn't need too much coverage, so I'm gonna just leave it at that. My cheeks and around my nose, what takes me the longest amount of time. So I'm just tapping this in. I know I'm looking a bit wider because I am sitting in front of a window, but in real life, this foundation is a very close match to my actual skin. There's that side of my face. Look at that coverage. I am just working in little sections. The reason I like to do that is because when I would cover my entire face with spots of foundation, I ended up using up too much product that I don't need. And so that's why I like to work this way. I really hate squeezing out too much foundation and then having to like take a tissue and wipe it off and throw it away. Like, it feels like such a waste. It hurts my heart. I mean, if you're pressed for time, I wouldn't recommend this brush because you do want to make sure that you are working carefully so that there aren't brush strokes And I feel like that goes for using any kind of foundation brush. For me, like, the reason I love the Beauty Blender so much is because I don't have to worry about brush strokes if I'm not careful. And so that's just one very light layer. Now, what I'm gonna do is just go back in with a little bit more just on my darker marks and around my nose. Yeah, and honestly guys, it doesn't feel heavy sitting on top of my skin. Like, I hate when it feels like I have a layer of foundation just not blending in with me and just bleh, you know, just sitting and just moving around on its own throughout the day. I can't stand that. I'm just gonna apply some chapstick so that my lips are ready for whatever lip product I decide to wear later. Okay, so here's my dilemma every day is, what concealer do I want to use under my eyes? I don't know, and I don't really care because I like all three. But I don't know. Okay, just to show you guys this one. This is the Saem concealer. This is the one that I bought for $5 in Korea. 5,001 in Korea, which is like less than $5 US. I talked about this in my Korean beauty favorites video, and I didn't realize that it has a scent. It smells kind of nice. Okay, so with concealer under my eyes, I just use my fingers. I find that that blends better, and I don't want to have to use a brush under my eyes because I have poked myself in my eyeball when using a brush, and I don't like how that feels. It's finally getting cooler in Korea, so it is definitely less humid, and my skin is actually starting to act a little dry. Gosh, I can't just be normal for a little bit. Oh my gosh, I look like geisha. Just for being on camera, I am going to fill in my brows just the tiniest bit because I've noticed that this brow is a little bit darker than this one. So I'm just gonna fill in a little bit of the holes. I'm using the Shu Uemura Hard Formula. And this is an interesting brush because you can't sharpen it by yourself. You actually need to go to a Shu Uemura counter and have them sharpen it for you. And I hear you don't have to sharpen it as frequently. I think it's like maybe every 2 months or something. Anyway, I love this more than Anastasia anything because I feel like this makes the brows look super natural. So if you look at the blade, it looks like that. Interesting shape, huh? And there's tape on it because, of course, the day that I buy this, I bring it home and I drop it, and then the whole chunk of it just fell off. And this is quite a lot of product. Like, this much will probably last me, I want to say almost like a year because I don't use it very often. And so I didn't want to just throw it out, so I kind of just taped it on, and that's what I did. I'm gonna just use a little bit of bronzer around my hairline because I feel like there is a contrast right now. Just to warm it up, you know, just for fun. I don't do this every day. I don't do this every day, only when I feel like it, to be honest. Today I feel like it. Blush and highlighter. I am using Benefit's Coralista. I love this product so much. I'm almost done with it, and this is a lifetime repurchase for me. Even when I have breakouts on my cheeks, I feel like certain blushes just accentuate it, you know, when you put it on, but I just love like the soft glow that Coralista provides, and there's no other product like it for me. I'm going in with Becca's Champagne Pop, and I'm just going to highlight a tiny bit here. Let's not overdo it, Jennifer. And then, look at that. I'm going to prime prime my eyes, I'm using Urban Decay's Primer Potion in Sin. I've been using this for ages, and you know, this product I think is only good for 6 months, but who can ever finish this in 6 months? I wish Urban Decay would just make like a smaller size and sell it for like $1/4 of the price, and I would buy it and I would keep buying it every 6 months. But no, possible to finish. Here's another eyeshadow that I have been loving, and it is from a Korean brand called Becca, and it looks like this. And this was actually gifted to me by a really sweet girl that I teach English to. And okay, when I say sweet girl, she's actually older than me, so sweet woman. And the cool thing about this eyeshadow is, if you were to drop this eyeshadow, it would crack and break, but it's almost made of this like spongy material that you can like kind of collect the eyeshadow and then press it together and then mold it back together. So this is the other eyeshadow I have, and I actually dropped this one. If you guys can see, it's a little bit lumpy because I had to collect the remains and then mold it together and put it back in here. So, but that's cool. That's cool to know that if you're clumsy like me and you drop stuff, you have a second chance and a third chance. So I just take this color and I put it all over my lids. And I really like this color because it's soft. It's very, very soft, and there is shimmer in it, but it's not overwhelming. And I think it's such an easy color to wear every day. And I have been pretty lazy about wearing eyeliner on a daily basis, so this is all I do. This is what I do, and then I might take a darker eyeshadow and put it in the corners of my eyes. I have a Bobbi Brown eyeshadow palette, except it doesn't have a name. I don't know if this was like a limited edition or samples, whatever. This was gifted to me by my mother-in-law, and I'm obsessed with it because these are so my colors, but here it is. And I usually use this color in the outer part of my eye. So and I'm using this like really cheap Korean brush that I got. I think it's from Misha. It's a blending shadow brush. And I just do that until I feel like stopping. I need to curl my lashes. I'm using the Shiseido eyelash curler. This is the only eyelash curler that I use that I like. Then I'm using my Dr. Mascara Fixer. I love this thing. I'm almost out, so I need to get a new one. But I put on a coat of that, and I'm gonna let it hang out and dry. Oh yeah, look at that difference. This is my favorite mascara, and it gets better with use because when you first open up a brand new tube, it feels like there isn't much product, but the more you use it, the formula just feels thicker and it comes out thicker on the wand. So I think it's so great for length and volume. And I have a separate video just on like what my lashes look like normally and what it looks like after using this combo, and I swear by it. This is all I use, guys. Whenever I put on eyeshadow and then I curl my lashes, a lot of the eyeshadow actually comes off because, I don't know, the way that I guess rest the curler on my eyes, it just comes off, and it always happens. So what I'm gonna do is go back in with the eyeshadow that I used earlier. And then one last thing is I'm going to take Etude House's Bling Bling Stick and the wind right under my eyes. Do I look younger and fresher? Okay, all that's left are my lips, and currently I have been really into this lip liner, and this is Soar by MAC. This is definitely My Lips But Better liner. Then I just take some cherry chapstick and I smooth it out. I am going to head out. I hope you guys have a great day. If you have any questions about any of the products that I used here, feel free to leave me a comment and I will get back to you. Bye!